In the last 20 years, California spent $2.8 billion on homelessness. Where is all of that money?
The train to nowhere.
Where is
the train to nowhere.
Yeah, right.
They've spent billions of dollars on this thing and have 0% of it built, or maybe 0.1%. I think there's like one section, like to mark where it's going to start or something. This done nothing with it.
This is how you end up with authoritarianism or an emperor. This is how a republic falls to an empire, to an emperor. Because people in California are going to get to the point where they're just like, how come we can't build a train? What has happened to this country where we literally say, let's build a train? They can't do it. Trump's going to come in, or something's going to happen where some guy says, vote for me, give me the power, and I'll just do it, and I'll ignore everybody else. And they're going to vote for a strongman, and then they're going to say, in order to build this, we need permits and laws passed. And he's like, nope, don't care. And he's going to send in teams, start building, and they're going to be like, you can't do that, though there's laws in place. And he's going to be like, sue me. This is what happens. People get fed up with broken systems, and they just say, do it anyway.
That's what the Democrats do anyway, right?
Yeah.
To further exemplify that point, it's not only on the federal level where Democrats massively screw things up, even on the state level where they're in total power, they manage to screw things up. So in states like California and New York, you can't build, you can't afford a house, rental prices are out of control. And why? Because you can't build anything in any of these states because of the different environmental laws or regulations, and everything becomes so burdensome to build in any of these states, as opposed to any of these red states. So they don't manage their own states well. New York's in a bunch of debt. I'm sure the situation in California is also horrendous. Their management of resources, I believe there's a huge water crisis now going on in California that's been ongoing for some time. So the Democrats don't manage the states that they have total power in well at all. So, on the federal level, people have no faith in them. On the state level, they don't even have faith in them. So I could see why people have such low faith, as these polls were showing.
Like, I mean, we started talking about how bereft of leadership the Democrat Party is. And it's because it's all either old people or people that don't have a realistic view on what the government can do. And I think that Gavin Newsom is, for as long as he's been in California government, I think that he exemplifies that. He responds to what he believes the Democrats want, as opposed to things that are actually going to be good for California. So, I mean, I don't know that they're going to be able to find anyone better. I mean, Pritzker, I don't know that he's going to be, I think that he's too big. I think he's too fat. I think he's a fat guy, and I think people won't elect a fat guy like that.
I think, isn't AOC the clear end? Like, isn't that the clear direction the Democrats are going in?
I mean, maybe, but Tim doesn't think that a woman would actually win. I think that she could get the primary, though.
A woman will win when both parties put up a woman, and people have no choice.
When it's Nikki Haley versus AOC.
So I was watching. I was watching
2036.
I was watching this video today on Google's Gemini glasses or whatever. There's this young Asian woman, and she's wearing glasses, and she's like, she looks at a bookshelf, then turns away and says, "Okay, I didn't see what that book said, but maybe Gemini did." And then she goes, "Gemini, can you tell me what the white book was called?" And then this AI voice comes on, and it's a woman who says, "The white book was titled this, that, or otherwise." The AI voice had vocal fry. And I mean, it was like, I hate Google. And I was like, why are they doing a presentation where their AI voice is using vocal fry when they talk like this? Like, why would it do that?
I don't know.
Because for one, it wasn't really an AI.
Oh, okay.
I'd assume it was just a woman reading a script they were claiming was AI. Or they trained their AI to do vocal fry. Here's the thing. A lot of people don't notice vocal fry. It is common among prominent women in media. They try and, for whatever reason, but it's off-putting to a lot of other people who notice it right away. So this young woman who was introducing it was not using vocal fry, which gives her a higher pitched voice. It's her natural register. But there are a lot of women that try and talk with a lower register, so they push their voice down and they'll talk like this. And it goes real low and you hear that rasp. And a lot of people are annoyed by that. This is why I think AOC and many women cannot win. And the left should agree with me on this one. Inherent sexism, call it whatever you want. Some people said, yeah, but what about Margaret Thatcher? Why? Because in a parliamentary system, you vote for the party, not the person. So you're voting for a party and then they put a woman in. But for a presidential system, you think, like, let me ask you guys honestly, how tall is AOC? 5'4"?
She's short, something like that.
5'4". So Kamala Harris on the presidential debates asked for a smaller podium so that on camera, relative to her body size, she didn't look tiny. Here's another example. Every time I meet somebody, they say like, oh, wow, you're a lot taller than I realized. Because our cameras are positioned above head length, whereas most shows like Fox News, for instance, they do what's called blocking. So our table is, we're all sitting around the table. If we were going to do blocking like cable TV, we'd all sit on one side of the table, and then the cameras would be at chest height. What ends up happening is those that are watching the video, they will see as though they are 5.5 feet tall. So like in movies, for instance, this is what they do. The cameras are always held at chest height. So women who are 5'2" look pretty big on the screen. They look like they actually fill up the entire screen. And then you see them in person, you're like, wow, they're tiny. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.